Are you a high school student athlete? Do you want to play sports in college after high school is over? Are you having trouble being recruited? Do you even know where to start? If you answer yes to any of those questions, fear not. I'm Corian Knight, aka Zeus, with Chump the Champ TV, and I am here to help you break down the barriers of getting recruited as a high school athlete and achieving your dreams. If you answer yes to any one of those questions, just know you're not alone and you're in the right place. I don't think you're seeing this video by accident, and I don't believe in coincidences personally. So that means I'm here to help you get to where you want to be. So take some notes, leave them in the comments. Let's get started. Let's get ready to rumble. Like just yesterday, I was right in your shoes. I was underrated, I was overlooked. I didn't have the offers that I thought I should have. I played 3 sports in high school. I played football, I played basketball, and I ran track. I was a dog, I'm telling you. And I'm from Florida. That's top three states in the country when it comes to sports and high school sports in general. Like, come on now, it's Florida, right? So everybody's a dog in Florida. But I was a dog too. Why wasn't I having all of the opportunities and the offers that everybody else had? I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. Like I didn't know what it was. I was playing good. I was winning. I just couldn't figure it out. After all was said and done, I learned so much. I learned that typically when it comes to high school sports and high school athletes, it's not that you're not good enough, not that you're not fast enough, you're not tall enough, you're not big enough, you're not strong enough. It's never any of those things. The only thing that it really is when it boils down to it all is that nobody knows who you are. That's it. That is the all-time determining factor for if you get recruited or not. You might not be experienced, but you are qualified. And that's very important to know. Because you probably already have the potential to be a top recruit at a JUCO, a NAIA, a D1, D2, or D3 school. But they just don't know who you are yet. And that's okay, because that is what I'm here for. I'm here to help you get noticed by coaches, learn how to create a highlight film, how to network, how to get better athletically with training drills and just the basic stuff that you'll actually see when you get to college. It's kind of crazy, right? The academic side of stuff, GPA, test scores, how to be eligible, how to keep your eligibility. The landscape of college sports is just changing so rapidly now since COVID. We have now 5 years of eligibility for NCAA schools coming up. JUCO years don't count anymore towards eligibility. I'm not sure if NAIA years are going to count anymore, but now there's another lawsuit going in to try to get Division II school years not to count to D1. Like it's a zoo right now. The big time D1 schools are recruiting from the transfer portal. They're taking the D2 guys and the D3 guys and the other D1 guys that are coming through and the NAIA guys, and the transfer portal is just crazy right now. Everything, it's a madhouse. The NAIA guys are trying to get to D3 and D2 and D1. The D3 guys are trying to go up to D2 and up to D1. The D2 guys are trying to go up to D1 or go to other D2 schools. It's just a lot. There's a lot of sideways recruiting going on, right? So where does that leave the average high school athlete who can possibly potentially play at the next level and probably deserves an opportunity? Wait, nope, not deserve. We don't deserve anything, but we're gonna earn our opportunities. I'm gonna teach you how to earn your spot. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it's a process. It doesn't matter what school you start at. It matters where you finish. And you don't have to finish at a D1 school. There are other great schools that are not Division I. You got Ivy League schools, which are still D1 too, but you got NAIA schools that are fantastic. There are a lot of schools that are just amazing in terms of academic and even athletics. It doesn't have to be a Division I Power 5 school for you to get the best quality education and the best athletic experience for you. In my overall experience with high school sports, it was pretty fun. I finished senior year with a state championship in track and field. I was a high jumper and a long jumper. I finished my football season in the state playoffs. We lost in the second round. However, I finished Florida's top 50. Basketball, we saw the state playoff for the first time in like 20 years since my uncle played there. Like, it was a lot of fun. So I was just like, wow, like I was in all of these spaces. I was like, where are all of the offers that I want? Like all of my big offers, all of my D1 Power 5, I didn't have them knocking down my door like I thought they should have been. But I also came from a very, very small town. And we all know that small town play is difficult to get up out of there. And it wasn't bad, but with no direction and no guidance, you can really get lost in the process of trying to get out of your small town and play sports in college. All the offers that I did have, I had a bunch of different offers in different divisions. I had a few D1s, I had some D2s, some D3s, some JUCO offers. I had FAMU offer me in football, basketball, and track and field. I had UNF offer me in track and field and basketball. I had Harvard offered me a track scholarship. It was a lot, and it wasn't the schools that I wanted to go to. Of course, I wanted to go to the big time Power Five schools like everybody else does, but sometimes you have different roads to the same destination, you know. So it's really just being mindful and being in a space to understand that yeah, you might start here, but you might not end here. So it's just taking into consideration that take the options that you do have and weigh them out and try to find a plan to get where you want to be. And it turns out you might like being at the other schools that you're at if it's not a Power Five D1 school. Whatever, it doesn't matter if it's Power Five or D1. You as long as you have the opportunity to play and further your education and continue to play and get better and continue to progress and compete, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter where you go to school at, doesn't matter how big the school is, what sport you're playing, whatever sport you want to play, you can play it. You just have to understand that there's a process to getting where you want to be, and it might not always come right when you need it, but if you're putting in the work, when the opportunity does show up, you be prepared. To sum up my recruitment journey in a nutshell, I ended up waiting too late for all of my big offers to come. I missed out on most of my offers that I did have. I missed high school football signing day. I missed basketball signing day. I missed track and field signing day because I was waiting. And I don't know what I was waiting on. I was just waiting. I couldn't decide where I wanted to go to school at, what I wanted to play, if I played two sports or not. I couldn't even decide on a major for school. Like, I had no idea. And the thing about it is, a goal with no plan is just a dream. I ended up waiting too late for all of my signing days to pass by. So that means all scholarship money was pretty much depleted out of these schools. Yes, they have caps for these things. I didn't know either at the time. However, my mom was like, you're going to go to the community college here and play basketball. That's it. I'm deciding for you. And I was like, I don't want to do that. My uncle was like, no, you're going to go to this prep school here and go play basketball. I was like, which actually would not have been a bad idea. If you don't know what a prep school is, a prep school is basically an educational institution where you can go and have another year basically of high school and develop athletically and academically. Would have been a fantastic option, but I didn't want to do it because somebody else told me to do it. Like, if I didn't pick it, I wasn't going to do it. But it would have been a great option. He was going to send me to Aspire Academy, and that's actually where LaMelo Ball went to school at after he left Chino Hills before he went to Australia or wherever he went. And it was like, it would have been a fantastic option. I didn't even think about that, but because I didn't think of it, I didn't want to hear it. Like, I ended up going to an NAIA school in Miami Gardens. I went to Florida Memorial University, and I spent 3 years there, 8 All-American titles, 2 national championships in the long jump and high jump in consecutive years. And then I transferred my last season to Florida State. Finally at the Power 5 school of my dreams. I finally made it. I was just cooking when I got there. Indoor All-American, outdoor I was ACC MVP of the whole conference. We won high jump, long jump. I was just cooking. I ended up on the top 10 of all time list in all of my events, and I was just taking levels and steps. But one thing when I got there, I was just like, you guys were here since freshman year? Like, how? Like, how are y'all here than I wasn't? But they were from areas, my teammates were areas where there's high recruitment, and I wasn't from one of those areas. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't have had the opportunity or should have known how to get there, right? Because you can get anywhere that you need to be in life. It's very simple when you understand these steps of how to put yourself out there if you are one of these athletes that can be at this level. It was nobody's fault, but we'll just chalk it up to a skill issue. Things that I didn't know but I should have known if somebody would have taught me, but I had nobody to teach me, so I didn't know. Right? Kinda. It's no biggie. But I did learn from the experience and everything that came with it. One thing that you will have to do is be able to continue to look forward. I had to the whole time when I was injured, when things weren't going my way, when my training wasn't working out. You have to keep looking forward. Building mental fortitude is super important because college sports will test you. Being down, imagine having 5 a.m. workouts and practice after after class, and you got 3 or 4 essays to do, and you just like, bro, I don't have it today. Yeah, you can't not have it today. You can't, you gotta go to school. You gotta go to practice. You gotta get things done, and that's okay. You're gonna have those kind of days, but you have to keep that strong mindset because it will carry you. That is the only thing that will carry you from high school to college and college to life or to pro sports or wherever you're trying to go. Having that strong mindset is what will build your foundation. Okay, I have rambled enough. Let's get to some business. So, three key components you have to have when it comes to recruiting. Number one, first and foremost, a common misconception is that if I just play well, coaches will find me. Yeah, no, that's not how that works. So you have to first and foremost put yourself on the radar. A coach can't recruit who he doesn't know. So how do you put yourself on the radar? I'll show you. You have to have a highlight film, and you cannot wait until your senior year to get one. By junior year, you should have enough plays and repetitions in games to have a film made. Whether you gotta make it yourself or get somebody from the AV club to do it, somebody can make you a highlight film. You might have to pay for it, but at that point, just make it yourself. Like, it's a good skill to have, anyways. Learn how to, use some audio, cut and paste. It's nothing major. Make a highlight film. Keep all your good key plays, have that in there. Have plays that you did very well in. Excitement. That's what a highlight film is. It's highlights, not low lights. Don't have you over there just jogging down the court or on the field or whatever. Make sure these are plays that are electric, that ones that catch the eye. Like, oh my gosh, that was him. Yeah, like those kind of plays. Different sports will require different types of highlights, right? So if we're playing football, of course, big hits, big catches, big runs, big jukes, elusiveness, all of that good stuff. Basketball, big plays, big shots, big dunks, big blocks, everything that we want to see, right? Softball, big hits, nice stolen bases. Volleyball, nice kills, nice spikes, everything. We want to see it all. Whatever sport it is, doesn't matter. Just your best stuff every time. And you got to go give it every game too. And of course, some sports won't require as much highlight film as others. Like, for instance, track and field. Because track and field is a universal sport and it comes with just numbers and its distances and times, you don't really need a highlight film for it. It's cool, but you can just be like, hey, I run this, I jump this, this is what I got. What are your standards for scholarships and whatnot? You can ask simple questions for that. But it's a process for all of it. Second point, three pillars of a recruitable athlete. So, in a sense, we can break this all down into three categories real quickly. Getting recruited comes down to three things: skill, exposure, and academics. When it comes to skill, you have to train like a recruitable athlete, not just a high school player. So you have to train and have that mental capacity to go further and farther every rep, every set, every down, every single chance you get. And when it comes to exposure, if coaches don't see you, you don't exist in their world. Exposure is very important. That's the only thing, not the only thing, but one of the only things that will set you apart is who is seen more. Because I'm sure there are athletes out there that are not better than you with more offers and more opportunities, and there are athletes that are actually better than you with less offers and opportunities. It's not always fair, but it's the game. And the last one is academics. Your GPA and your test scores can be the deciding factor of whether you get offered or you get overlooked, because you might think, oh, it's just high school, it doesn't really matter. It's not true, because if your grades are ineligible when you graduate high school, you are ineligible when school starts. And most athletes take summer classes when they begin as a freshman to make sure that we are eligible. It's kind of how it goes. So if you're not eligible in high school, they're not really depending and counting on you to be eligible when you have your own free time to do things that make you eligible. So it's, you gotta you got to do the work. Like it's not gonna just fall in your lap. The third key point into getting recruited, which is actually the first step, but it's actually also the most ignored, and that is finding the right school. Finding what school fits for you. Most athletes chase the biggest name possible, right? But don't even know if the school is right for you. Do you know if you want a big giant school? Do you want a Florida State? Do you want a Ohio State? Or do you want a smaller, close knit community? A mid major, a TCU, Middle Tennessee. And that's just the D1s that I just named. That's not all schools. However, knowing what the school has to offer and if it fits for you is very important. Does the school even have your major? That's very important to know when you go into school and to start deciding where you want to spend the next 4 years of your life at. 4 to 5 years now, who knows? But that's very important. You should figure that out early. That should be the first thing you look at. What I want to major in. You don't have to know what you want to be, but you have to have some kind of idea. You don't want to just go in and play around, you know? And that's all I got for you today. If you took notes and you learned something, please let me know in the comments because I do want to read them. This channel is going to blow up. I'm not worried about subscribers. I'm not finna say, hey, subscribe to my channel. I know for a fact this channel is going to be something that's never been seen before because I have such big plans for it. I really want to see the floodgates of recruitment open up for high school athletes because it's being so flooded inside of college already. The transfer portal is not fair to high school athletes, and I understand. But sometimes you gotta make a way, however you can. Chump the Champ does have a book coming out, and I have so many pre-orders for it already. I'm just hoping I can get it done by the due date. But I will have more information with that. Stay tuned, and the book will be an exact blueprint of what you need to be doing to get to the next level. So until next time, champs and future All-Americans, y'all be smooth out there now.